Oh, I remember what I was going to do. I was going to tell you guys the story this week. I did this awesome, unbelievable fucking gig. It was the Bob Woodruff Fund, whatever you call it. Jesus Christ. I really thought that this story was going to get the podcast going again. What the fuck was it called? The Bob Woodruff Charity Fund auction thing. Bob Woodruff is a reporter. He was in Iraq. He got hit by a roadside bomb, made a miraculous recovery, and this is the fourth annual one where they raise money for his foundation. That's the word I was looking for. His fucking foundation, to raise money for it, for troops who've been injured in battle and that type of thing. Just one of those charities you just cannot say no to. You have to do it. And it was all the way back in New York City at the Beacon Theater. For music fans out there, they know that the Allman Brothers have been doing the Beacon Run for like the last 30 fucking years. So already I'm thrilled to be there just because I'm going to be standing on the same stage as Dwayne Allman. And I showed up, and the lineup that I went on was the most insane lineup I have ever been on in my career. This was the lineup. All right, Max Weinberg was there, and he put together this big band. So they're out there fucking killing it. Jon Stewart was the host. He goes out, and he kills it, talking about politics in a very funny way, unlike the horse shit that I did on my podcast. He fucking kills it. Then he brings out Tony Bennett. Tony fucking Bennett, who sings 2 songs, absolutely kills it. Sounds as good as he did 40, 50 years ago. Just kills it. Then they bring out, Jon Stewart comes back out, does some more jokes, kills again. Then he brings out Bruce Springsteen. Fucking Bruce Springsteen goes out there and just fucking owns the stage, sliding around, jumping up on the piano, telling jokes, just fucking kills it. Then they had an auction. All these fucking rich peoples paid like $150,000 for one of Bruce Springsteen's guitars, raised all this money. Then the second half of the show, they bring out Joel McHale, who had to go on after Tony Bennett and fucking Bruce Springsteen, and he still somehow killed it. Then I went up, and then the final act of the evening was Jerry Seinfeld. What's the deal? Jerry fucking Seinfeld, the king, the master, right? And I'm on stage when I went out there, and my whole nervousness of the night was not going on after those people. My nervousness was the fact that nobody had said fuck yet. And it was a benefit, and people talking about tragedy, and I was going to go out there, and my opening bit was talking about, hitting women. So I'm backstage just like mind-fucking myself, going, God, it's going to be too harsh. I shouldn't curse. Jerry's going to get mad at me. The second I curse, he's going to look at me like I'm not even a comedian, and I so badly want his fucking approval, So I'm sitting there freaking out, and finally my agent just goes, dude, you see what Springsteen just did? He went out, he just does what he does, jumps on pianos, just go out there, do what the fuck you do. I was like, you know what, you're right. You're right. So I went out there, and I didn't say fuck as much as I usually did, but I went out there, I did my hit by women, hitting women, all that type of shit. It fucking killed. And when I get off stage, I'm walking, and Jerry's going on next, so I'm walking off the stage, and there he is. Fucking Seinfeld. Who at this point, it's like looking at Elvis, goddamn icon. He's standing there in his suit, just ready to go to work. And I walk by him, I'm just wincing, I'm waiting for him to just completely blow me off, or just be like, "Why did you say fuck so much?" And I walk by him, and he fucking sticks his hand out, and he just goes, "Really funny stuff, really, really funny stuff." And I was just like, "Oh, thanks a lot. I try not to curse so much out of respect for you going on next." And he goes, "Well, I don't care." Then I felt like an idiot. I'm sitting and being all nervous like a little schoolgirl, and I just realized, like, wait a minute. Jerry has always worked totally fucking clean. He came up in the late 70s, right through the 80s, with all these barroom hack comics doing blow. I mean, the amount of shit that guy had to go on after, working squeaky fucking clean. He can't follow me. Well, what the hell was I thinking? No, I was thinking he couldn't follow me. I was thinking that he would be annoyed. And then I stood there, like feeling like I was 90 miles in the air because he said that he thought that I was funny or that I had good stuff. And then I watched him go out there and it just absolute, not to bring up sports again, but I guess I have to, any port in a fucking storm here. It was like watching, when somebody's just has the perfect swing, perfect jump shot, their form or whatever. That's what it was like. There was just everything that he did. There wasn't one wasted word, one wasted movement, everything. Okay, you want to talk movies? It's like Toy Story. You go to see Toy Story. It's like every line in the movie just propels the thing forward. There's not a line of fat in that fucking script, and it's just like his act. And he goes out there and just absolutely fucking destroyed. And it was awesome. The other night that I had that ever compared to that was one night I was down at the Comedy Cellar in the Village in New York City, and that's the club where if you want to see, go out and see great comedy, or if you want to see possibly somebody super famous that's a comedian just drop in and do a set, that's where I would go. And it used to happen all the time. And one night I was down the cellar, and give me naming a lot of names here, but I never name names of the podcast, but there's nothing bad about this story. So Godfrey was hosting the show, and I was supposed to, I think it was me, I was going on next, but all of a sudden, I can't really tell you the story without saying the names. This is basically, just imagine you're sitting in the fucking crowd, all right? You're just seeing no-name hacks like me going up, and all of a sudden the host goes, hey, everybody, we got a very special guest that just dropped by, wanted to do like 5 minutes. You might recognize this guy from the hit TV show Everybody Loves Raymond. Please welcome Ray Romano. And Ray walks on stage, and the crowd goes fucking nuts. Holy fuck, Ray Romano, right? And as he's on stage, Seinfeld and Chris Rock show up. And they also want to go on. All right? This has happened once in 20 years of me doing stand-up. This was the most unbelievable night, right? So they go downstairs. Ray Romano finishes. So Godfrey goes back up, and he kept doing these great intros that was making the crowd lose their shit. He goes, keep going for Ray Romano. He goes, all right, we got another special guest just dropped in. You might recognize this guy from the Chris Rock show. Please welcome Chris Rock. And then the fucking place, standing ovation. Holy fuck, we got to see fucking Ray Romano and Chris Rock. And now at this point, every comic knows that Seinfeld is waiting in the wings. So we're all standing there, huddled down in the little hallway, waiting to watch this crowd lose its fucking shit like those soccer moms on fucking Oprah, right? Chris Rock kills it. Godfrey goes up. Chris Rock, everybody. Crowd is like out of breath from fucking laughing. And then he goes, we had another guest drop by. At this point, people are just like, what the fuck, right? He goes, you might recognize this next guy from the hit TV show Seinfeld. And I hear this guy go, no fucking way, in the crowd. And he goes, please welcome Jerry Seinfeld. And like half the crowd almost fainted. He goes up and just fucking destroys. And like people are like elated. They have like when he's done, everybody's face is just like in pain from grilling, from grinning. I swear to God, this is a true story, right? So Seinfeld ends, and he goes, all right, keep it going for Jerry Seinfeld. He goes, all right, you guys ready for more show? And the crowd's like flipping out. And they go, okay, this next comedian, and the crowd at this point is so goddamn spoiled. I'm standing there in the doorway waiting to go on, and everybody is trying to look around my head for somebody famous to come on, and he's bringing up me. He goes, please, you might have seen him on VH1's I Love the 80s, MTV's Apartment 2F. Please welcome Bill Burr. And I went on stage, and there was a noticeable sense of disappointment at that point when I walked up to the mic. And the only way I got out of it was I just addressed it. I was like, that's right, welcome back to reality. This is what the fuck you paid for. And then everybody laughed and like, all right, he addressed it. He addressed the fact that we're disappointed to see him. And at that point, they kind of went along for the ride. And I swear to God, an hour later, Dave Chappelle went up, and he went up. And that was So that night and the night I just did were the two most unreal nights that I've ever seen in stand-up comedy. I swear to God, that Cellar story, I know it sounds like some bullshit. I swear to God, it's fucking true. And I don't know why I'm thinking that you're doubting it. So if you ever go to New York City and you just want to go out and check out some fucking comics, go to the Comedy Cellar right down on West 3rd and McDougal. Right? I've said that like 9 million times in my life. Flagging down a cab back in the day when you could do 8 sets on the weekend every night. Flagging down the cab with your spot money. Take me to West 3rd and McDougal. Do you want me to take the highway? No, you fucking asshole. It's going to cost me an extra $7. Okay, there's a lot of traffic. All right, you dick. Fucking take the other one, you son of a bitch. What do I care? What do I care? Someday I'll have my own podcast, and I'll be selling ringtones at 99 cents a whack, just raking in the fucking money.